I'm proud to be associated with them. I would say largely because of the philosophy of their party and the foundation, especially your economic, political philosophy of the social market economy, which translates into promoting market evolution with conscience. And I believe this should be the philosophy that should operate around the world.
Es handelt sich nicht nur die Verbreitung der christlich-demokratische Gedanke, sondern auch die deutsche politische Kultur.
I think that they do great work in Kazakhstan and of course in Germany, and I think they organize for us a good platform.
With the consistent support of Konrad Adenauer Stiftung, the center has grown in its capacity and prestige through the years. The center has become a top learning destination for the best journalists from all over the region.
I very highly value the Konrad Adenauer Foundation, its international activities, the organization of its events in Italy, in other countries of Europe, everywhere.
The Konrad Adenauer Stiftung's increased presence in North Africa and the Middle East demonstrates its accurate sense for current political movements.
Welcome back to Global Village. I'm your host, Buddy Cunanan. Tonight's topic is CAS and the Philippines. And joining us still is Benedict Zayman. He's the country representative of the Konrad Adenauer Foundation, or Stiftung. And now with us is Attorney Benedicto, another Benedict, Benny Bacani, and he's the founder and executive director of the Institute for Autonomy and Governance. Welcome, Benny, to Global Village and their showcast in the Philippines.
Thank you for the invitation, buddy.
Yeah. Before we jump into you, let's talk about that video we showed, Benedict Zayman. Very interesting video because it shows us the footprint of CAS all over the world. We saw some people from Latin America, from Africa, and even our own Violet Valdez here in the Philippines.
Yes.
So it really is a nice video to show that you guys are really spread out all over the world.
Yes. We're in the most different contexts and countries you can imagine, from real dictatorships to developing democracies. We cover a broad spectrum with our offices and with our projects. You know. And here in the Philippines, in the video you were seeing Violet Valdez of Ateneo. We've been here for 53 years, and we've been partnering with local institutions as, for example, the Ateneo Journalism Center, which you can see here, and so that's our strength. We're not, every year actually there's rankings about global think tanks, and so I think this year we ranked 16th worldwide as a think tank. But this actually shows, and I think the video brings across that message also, we're not just a think tank that is abstract, researching somewhere, sitting in Germany. We're present in the countries. We're there. We work with partners.
You're on the ground.
Exactly.
You're on the ground.
We've developed networks and ties that last longer than any publication.
Yes, and here with us is one of your partners, the Institute for Autonomy and Governance, of course, founded by and led by Benny Bacani. So thank you very much again for coming on the show, Benny, and pleasure to have you here. And you know, I like it when we have a topic like this and we bring a partner, a local partner, so at least, you know, we show the audience what is the work that is being done really by this foundation here in the Philippines. And your partnership, I think, is a typical, you know, it's an example of how CAS is able to, you know, build this synergy with local groups. Tell us a bit about IAG, sir.
Yeah, IAG, I started IAG in 2001. I was then Dean of the College of Law at Notre Dame University in Cotabato City. And no one was really looking at the political solution of the Mindanao conflict. And at that time, that was autonomy as a solution under the peace agreement with the MNLF. So looking at the systems to make it work, better governance. So I thought that there was a great need then for a policy center,
yes,
no? Or a training center to develop the concept of autonomy as a political solution to the Mindanao conflict. And CAS then sponsored my first book on the arm. No? And from then on, we that started actually our partnership. So, and we owe, IAG owes CAS. That's why we are now, I think, a very established institution down south because of that partnership with Konrad Adenauer Foundation.
You mentioned that prior to your establishing this foundation, no one was looking at the political solution.
Correct, yeah.
What was the focus on back then to the problem?
Well, there was this peace agreement, but it was, until now, the issue is implementation, right? And you know that peace agreements are essentially a set of political reforms. So that's a very big, you know, aside from the issue of decommissioning, issue of development, it is so hard to implement political agreements, you know, in peace agreements. That's why you need to really have strong institution looking at it from outside also,
Yes.
providing research, training, creative ideas, you know, looking at experiences of other countries, you know, to make it work. No? So because peace agreements are actually product of two-party negotiations.
Yes.
And we had that experience in the legislation of BBL. No? So that's why under this new administration, we're now talking about an inclusive peace process and basically focusing on political reforms, no? Federalism, you know, autonomy, etc. No?
Very good, very good. Benedict, how did you end up partnering with IAG? What was the link there?
Well, we've been partnering for 12 years now. And as I said, as a foundation, we don't work in a country as a standalone preacher or a Mr. Know-it-all foundation. We look to partner with local organizations always that bring the expertise and the capacities, well, and the same value-based approach to political solutions as we have. And IAG is a very fine example for that. They're an advocacy-based group, but also one that researches and publishes, but also on the other hand side, an institution that promotes or that actually promotes very precise policies and advocacies and enables decision makers as well as civil society in finding solutions to the problems, and in that case questions of autonomy, peace and development in Mindanao. It was my predecessor who started the partnership back then, as Benny said. It started with a publication and well, and now we have developed that into an institutional partnership that is and been going on for 12 years.
Very
and
good,
that
very
way
good.
we can be successful in joining our efforts and joining our powers for peace and development in Mindanao.
What are the other advocacies that you guys collaborate on? Because we talked about federalism and peace talks. What are the other topics that you guys collaborate with each other?
We are collaborating. Well, I mentioned about political reforms,
Yep.
and I think one of the key issues is political party development. No? So
okay.
that's a very pressing, urgent issue that we need to address, especially in the case of Muslim Mindanao. No? So if you talk of Philippine politics, it's highly personalized. Okay, and you have in Muslim Mindanao because of the violence and historical injustice, and history also of it's a very feudal still, feudal governance
yes,
structures.
yes.
And if you want real development to happen, better good governance, you should be able to raise capacities of people, empower marginalized groups, women, IPs to be part of the political process. Now, the good thing about this is the roadmap for resolving the problem of Mindanao actually calls for this. No? So that's why you have a ministerial system for the new Bangsamoro government. That's why we're very, very excited about a parliamentary system in
Yes.
the Bangsamoro, because that will create the political environment for the development of real and genuine political parties. And I think that's one of the keys for inclusive peace and development. And the Moro Islamic Liberation Front, okay, passed through us. No? And that's why that's a testament to the trust relations that we built the network that we built in Muslim Mindanao, providing technical assistance.
They specifically requested for
there's
CAS.
that personal interest,
Yes.
economic interest, but CAS. No? So they asked me to, if I can ask Conrad Adenauer Foundation to help in building the political party of the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. That is now called the United Bangsamoro Justice Party.
Very
And
good,
as
very
we
good.
speak now, buddy, we are having this workshop in Davao at the moment on political communications, no, for the leaders of the political party of the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. So I think, yeah, that is very, very significant, doing it quietly, but now we've announced it. But I think that is a very, very big step and towards, you know, stability and peace in the region.
Yes, and it's a testament to the reputation that CAS has built up over the years. I mean, as Benny said, they specifically asked for the participation of CAS here.
Yeah.
They could have asked for other groups to come in, and there are no shortage of groups that are, you know, ready to come in, and yet specifically asking for CAS.
Well, that is something that is very specific that we can provide with our partners. When people look at things also from a global perspective and what you can do and contribute in development and especially in post-conflict situations, yeah, they don't think of political party building first, yeah. They think, what? We do non-violent transformation, capacity building, and so, yeah, that is something, but we cater to a specific need in that case. We firmly believe that democracy needs Democrats. And in the case of Mindanao, it doesn't matter what kind of legal framework you establish or reform, if you don't have capacitated, empowered actors from civil society, society that actually carry the democracy, the Democrats, then it doesn't work. And we believe that functioning, bottom-up political parties provide the vehicle for people to participate, to become active stakeholders in politics nowadays. So
Well,
that is something we can deliver. We can teach people how to do that.
Well, the two Benedicts. This is something that we need all over the Philippines, not just in not just in Muslim Mindanao. I think it's a problem that bedevils the entire Philippine race,
Yeah,
basically.
I think, buddy, we have to promote the image of politics. No? Okay, politics as something good, you know, because here in the Philippines, when you say, yeah, namumulitika, it's all bad. No, what is wrong is partisan politics.
I
Too
totally
much
agree.
partisan
Totally.
politics. No?
It's in politics that you get things done in a society. It's
Correct,
a fundamental founding principle of any civilized society.
Correct. yeah,
Politics,
yeah.
right? And I wonder if you guys are you guys doing something like this on a national level, not just there, because I want everyone to benefit from this, not just the people in Mindanao. I hope you're doing this also in other parts of the country.
Well, actually, when I have to mention when we talk about party building and capacitating the structures of political parties, we're certainly, so you can fairly say, oh, you are partisan. You said, yeah, we're multi-partisan. We cater to your needs. So any party that is based on good intentions and democratic ideas can approach us and say, hey, can you work with us on how to establish a bottom-up functioning democratic political party? Or can you help us improve our communications?
Interesting point.
Can you help us work on us with our advocacy on a specific reform and so?
Interesting
And that
point.
actually happens a lot.
Really.
We don't only work with one party. We work in the regional context with different parties in Mindanao, but also on the national level we have catered to the needs of many different political parties.
Okay.
But we do that on the basis of that it's a real political party which is not only focused on one personality and only how should I say, financed by that one person or whatsoever. We want to empower political parties as a vehicle for people's participation. That's also why we work with a lot of youth groups, for instance. As Benny was saying, the image of politics is very negative, and that's not necessarily true in reality. The average Filipino is 23 years old. The average German is 59, yeah? So we have a very young society here in the country. And there's so many youth movements, youth organizations, and CSOs, and they're all very interested in politics. They are all very active and committed and volunteer in their free time for certain things. But when you ask young people, so can you imagine running for office sooner or later? Do you ever want to be, say, a city councillor or a municipal councillor? So, no, I don't want to get into politics. That's not a thing I want to do. But at the end of the day, if democracy is supposed to work, you have to find good people to go into politics.
Definitely.
And not only leave it to the, how should I say, usual suspects. Yes. That's vibrant democracy.
Better give a pause for a break, but when you come back, we're going to pick up on that, on youth involvement and also empowerment, and we're going to touch on federalism, of course, and we'll get valuable insights from Attorney Benny Bacani. So let's pause for a break. Guys, stick around because more of CAS and in the Philippines when Global Village returns.